Hi, it's Neil Sean here on Your Entertainment News. I'm thrilled today to be joined by one of my favourite comedy legends, the one and only Mr. Geoffrey Holland. Remember, it's Heidi High. Remember, Jeff?
I do indeed. If you miss it, you'll miss out.
Don't miss Jeff today on Your Entertainment News. Very successful career, but what was the break that you thought, oh, this is not bad, I've got into this now?
Well, it was the High break, I guess, when you see my work with David Croft and Jimmy Perry started.
Lovely people. I loved them. Yeah.
Well, it was way back in '75 when I was actually working at the Chichester Festival Theatre. I was doing 2 plays of the 4-play season there, and I was only doing half the season, and I wasn't booked for the 3rd and 4th plays, and I had to leave and go home. But there was 2 actors I was sharing a house with. You know, we were getting on famously. They were staying on to do the other 2 plays. It just happened that I wasn't booked for those, and I was really getting somewhat depressed, shall we say, rather down.
Yeah.
And then I got
You're allowed to, Jeff. It's all part of the act in the end.
It was a job that I was enjoying so much, I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call from my then agent saying they wanted to see me up in London for an audition. This was the same man who I'd worked with at Coventry, who was now staging the Dad's Army stage musical.
Oh, yes.
So Jimmy Perry and David Croft were in charge of it. He was staging it, and he called for me because he by then knew how useful I could be in a show like that, dressing up as all kinds of different people and doing different characters and running around getting changed. And that's exactly what I did. I went for the audition quite unwilling to be there. I had no idea what to do. I hadn't got anything prepared because I was in such a bad mood because having to leave Chichester. I arrived, I was given a script to look at, and I thought, well, if they want me to sing a song, I'll sing Hang Out the Washing on the Sea-Free line. You know, everybody knows that from the war, and somebody, or the pianist will know it, and, you know, I was looking at this, and I found a song, Yes, We Have No Bananas, a wartime favourite, and it was sung by Walker. Private Walker, the Spiff character.
Yeah, you used to love him, didn't you?
It was a parody on Yes, We Have No Bananas, but I've got Knicker Elastic, and all those things that, you know, he got inside of a big coat.
Yeah.
You know, the black market game. Yeah. And I thought, well, if they want me to sing, I'll sing that. Yeah. And I didn't. I went in and I read a couple of scenes with the company manager. He was so bad, he made me look good. You know, and then I said, well, you know, what about a song? And I said, well, I found this. And they said, well, do you mind if I sing it with the book in my hand? And, you know, they said, no, go ahead. And I did. I sang it. The pianist knew it. I sang this Yes, We Have No Bananas, and went down a storm. They were falling about laughing. Jimmy Perry and David Croft, they were laughing. And I thought, well, that went down well. And I said to them, you like that, didn't you? I was getting cheeky by now. I said, you like that? They said, yes. I said, but you wrote it. And they said, yeah, well, we've never heard it.
Oh,
we wrote it down, and we wrote the words down. We gave it to the typist who typed it up for the script, put it in a drawer. We've never seen it since. And they thought it was wonderful. I got the job.
Wow.
I got the job, and I did 6 months with the company in the Shaftesbury Theatre in London's West End.
And was that your first time in the West End?
Yes.
You see, I love the way you actors are so. That just to be in the West End when you're young. What was that like? Walking to the theatre and seeing the your name and the lights and everything. It must have been beautiful.
My name at the bottom of the poster.
But you're there though.
I was there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Wonderful.
One up from the print,
fantastic.
But you're there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It was. But I did 6 months at the Shaftesbury, and because I understudied, they asked me to understudy Private Pike and Private Walker.
Oh, yes.
Now, James Beck had already died, so there was another actor playing Walker in the show, but he didn't do the tour. We went on to tour it around the country, and this guy didn't want to do the tour, so as I'd understudied it would save time because I knew the words.
Yeah.
They asked me if I'd step in and play Private Walker on the tour.
It's all about luck, isn't it? Yeah.
So there am I, at 29 years old, with my rifle at the ready, when the curtain went up that night in Nottingham, the first night of the tour. I'm standing there with Captain Mannering and all the members of the platoon, and with me as Private Walker, with tears rolling down my face, and tears of pride.
Yeah.
It was a marvellous moment for me.
Yeah.
And playing Walker as I did in that show, led on to me getting known by Jimmy and David quite well, and they knew what I was capable of, and it resulted in me guesting on a couple of 8.5 Hot Mums.
Oh, I used to love that.
One or two little
brilliant,
things,
wasn't it?
A couple
So
of
fun.
customer jobs in Are You Being Served for David as well. And then even one of the very last episodes of Dad's Army in the final series, they asked me to come in and play an army truck driver. So I have a very small role in one of the final series.
But isn't it lovely to be associated, in any form with such legendary, still loved comedies today? I mean,
absolutely.
I find like It Ain't Half Hot Man. I remember that as when I was at, I don't know if this is really, but when I was at school, everybody talked about that the day after. It was just that funny. Everybody sat around and watched it because all of them were a bit stupid in a way, weren't they? The two colonels and all of that.
That's
They were brilliant.
They were all based on people that Jimmy and David knew about. You see, they wrote about what they knew.
Yeah.
Jimmy was Private Pike in the Home Guard in Watford in 1942 or whatever it was. He was the 15-year-old raw recruit. He was called up eventually when he turned 18, and he went overseas, and he actually went to Burma and ran a concert party in the jungle in Burma. Again, based on experience. David was in the army and served in Burma over there, so they knew all about that stuff. So they wrote about it. They wrote about Dad's Army because they knew about the Home Guard. They wrote about the concert party in the jungle, And then when we came to Heidi High, I got myself well under the table by then, and they wrote Spike with me in mind, which was wonderful for me. And then because they both worked at the holiday camps too. Jimmy was my character, Spike. He used to go and be a comic during his summer holidays from RADA when he was training. David used to put plays on in the theatres when they used to produce plays there, for the campus entertainment, and so they knew all these characters, and they based everything they ever wrote on people that they knew. There was a Punch and Judy man who hated children.
I know, I did brilliant though.
There was a crooked jockey who was like riding instructor. He got the sack from the jockey club for pulling a race. There was the sad old ballroom dancing champions who hadn't won a cup since 1943.
I loved them though, didn't you? I thought Barry Howard's face was beautifully picturesque. They were just so well. I think that's the thing about the Perry Croft things. They were also beautifully cast, and you all stood out. You all had starring moments, which were great that you remembered.